Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I am your host, Doug, here with your video blog for June 19th, 2014. A great blog planned for you. Today I'm going to talk about one thing in the NFL that does not make me happy. New York sports update on the Yankees and the Mets. We'll have your MLB Power Rankings. We'll talk some FIFA World Cup, but first I want to get to the breaking story from last night. Clayton Kershaw throws a no-hitter, 15 strikeouts. A ridiculous game pitched by Kershaw. The Dodgers win 8-0 over the Colorado Rockies. Really keeping hitters off balance with this off-speed stuff. 14 of his 15 strikeouts came on curveballs or sliders. And really, the only base runner that reached base was on Hanley Ramirez's throwing error in the 7th. And Kershaw had great control. And just kudos to Kershaw for getting his first career no-hitter. Alright, now it's time to move on to what I was going to have as my top story, NBA free agency. Really, I think this free agency period is going to be overhyped for sure. I think three of the biggest possible free agents, the big three in Miami, are not going to move at all. I think the best case scenario for them, LeBron is going to stay. D-Wade and Chris Bosh are not going to be max players anywhere else. They will all stay if LeBron stays. And I think he will, just because there's not a lot of great options out there for him this year. I can see him really making a move next year, but this year I think he stays. The other two guys that could be on the move, first off, Carmelo Anthony. I think he will opt out on Monday, and I could see him ending up in Chicago. Not a great fit, but probably the best fit for him. A team that's really ready to win a championship if they can get another wing scorer. So I like Carmelo to go to Chicago. And then everybody's talking about a possible sign and trade for Kevin Love. I think it could happen, definitely. I don't know where I could really see Kevin Love going. There's not a lot of rosters really made for him at this point. I guess he could go to the Los Angeles Lakers. I could also see him going to Boston as well. Those two teams kind of need a veteran presence with a scoring presence as well. It'd have to be a sign and trade if we went to the Lakers. Celtics probably could sign him outright, but we'll see what happens as well. And really, coming out of this free agency period, the team that's going to be closer to a title could be that team that gets Kevin Love. If it is the Lakers, I don't think the Lakers are going to win a title next year. I don't think Boston will either, but that team will be closer. And whoever Pau Gasol goes to will be a better team as well, as that's a likely candidate for the trade once the sign and trade happens with these two teams. We're going to talk more NBA next week. Definitely NBA draft will start up on June 26th. That's next Thursday. So I'll be giving you my projected first round picks coming up next week, so stay tuned for that. Let's get to the FIFA World Cup. Yesterday, Spain, the Euro 08, the Euro 12 champion, and the FIFA World Cup champion 2010 has been eliminated as they lose to Chile 2-0. Just a team that looked old and slow and really not impressive. This team is going to get broken apart, and we'll see what happens going down the stretch, but Chile just outplayed them. Spain was terrible, and now Spain's eliminated, and it's going to be exciting to see what happens in this round, especially with the Netherlands looking as good as they do. Let's go to the U.S. soccer camp for a quick update. The United States, of course, will play Sunday night at 6 against Portugal. That's going to be a fun game to watch. Hopefully you tune in to that one. And really all it's been said so far is that Clint Dempsey could move up to a more forward position with Josie Altidore likely out for the game against Portugal with that hamstring strain. Other possible injuries, Dempsey's knows he's going to be good to go with that. Beasler, with his injury, could sit, and Brooks could get the start. We'll see what happens in that, but really, injuries are not going to be a factor, and it's going to come down to if the U.S. can get an early goal again and give Tim Howard a shot to just shut it down and make some big plays. Let's take a look at each table as we move towards clinching time. In Group A, we got Brazil and Mexico with 4, Croatia with 3, Cameroon with 0. Mexico will play Croatia next, Brazil will play Cameroon. Netherlands and Chile advance in Group B. Group C, Colombia, Ivory Coast with 3, Japan, Greece with 0. Group D, Costa Rica, Italy with 3, England, Uruguay with 0. Group E, France, Switzerland with 3, Ecuador, Honduras 0. Group F, Argentina, Iran, Nigeria at the top. 3 for Argentina, 1 for Iran, Nigeria, and Bosnia with 0. In the group of death, of course, Germany and USA with 3. Ghana, Portugal, 0. And in Group H, Belgium, Russia at the top. Belgium with 3, Russia with 1, South Korea with 1, and Algeria with 0. And today's matches that we have, we'll be doing some action in Group D today. We got some Group D action. Uruguay, England will be at 3. Colombia, Ivory Coast at noon. And Japan, Greece at 6. And since we're not going to be back on the blog until Saturday, your Friday schedule, Italy, Costa Rica, Switzerland, France, and Honduras, Ecuador. Should be some great matchups there. Time for a look at your MLB Power Rankings. New team at the top this week, the Oakland Athletics, back at the top off a 6-4 week. They're at 44-28. Number 2, the Brewers, playing some better ball again, starting to put some more distance in that Central. Milwaukee at 43-29, 7-3 in their last 10. And San Francisco, my loser of the week, as they dropped 2 spots to number 3. They're on a 2-8 stretch, 43-29. Toronto stays at number 4 with a 41-32. They're now 3-7 in their last 10. Washington, my winner of the week, they're up 5 spots to number 5 with a 36-33, 5-5 in their last 10. And my team to watch has to be the Kansas City Royals, now leading the Central. They're in 6th place at 39-32, 10-0. They've won 10 in a row. An exciting team to watch for sure. All right, I just want to touch on this briefly. Jimmy Graham is not making me happy camper right now. Jimmy Graham, big-time tight end for the New Orleans Saints, is fighting for more money in a sport where the salary cap is so important. I think it's a terrible move on his part. He should take the tight end money, which will be right around $7 million. He wants the $12 million, and it's going to hurt the team. And this is a big move for Jimmy Graham to go after this money. Makes me wonder who he's really about. If Graham takes that cut at $7 million, they can go out and sign probably 4 players for that extra $5 million, 4 good players. So Jimmy Graham needs to be looking at what he's doing, and this could really hurt the Saints if the arbitrator rules in favor of Jimmy Graham. Time for your New York sports update. Last night, Yankees win 7-3 on a home run and a triple with 5 RBIs by Brian McCann. Yankees now trail Toronto by 2.5 games. Yankees will play tonight. They'll finish up that 3-game set where they've won 15 straight at home against the Blue Jays. We'll see Drew Hutchison 5-4 with a 3.62 versus David Phelps, coming off a great pitching performance in Oakland. Phelps 2-4 with a 4.32. Mets also win yesterday 3-2. They're now 5.5 games back of Washington, 32-40 overall. They're going to start a 4-game set with the Marlins tonight at 7:10 in Miami. Zach Wheeler 2-7 with a 4.38 versus Andrew Haney, making his first start of the year. We're going to be back on Saturday. We'll do some weekend preview stuff with NASCAR. We'll also talk some MLB, and we'll also do some headlines. Always remember to follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. That is YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I will be back on Saturday. Have a good rest of the week.